Hello and welcome to another episode of Rico'S Rants. I'm your host, Rico DiGiorgio. Today, I'm going to do a review of a movie that I'm going to try to do it quickly because I have to be at work in about an hour. I'm going to do a movie called, let's see if I can get some light in here. That's not much better. Shattered Glass. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's the best I could do. Because I don't own the movie, but I rented it from work. And Shattered Glass is one of my favorite films to recommend for an underrated film. A lot of people are like, usually go for the big budget or the indie. This is sort of in the middle. And the reason why I like it is because the first time I saw it was in high school. So I must have been 15 or something. And it was in my journalism class. And we were, learning about how to write properly. And my teacher put on this movie, and it's all about journalism, but it's also all about... My cat's here. Hi, Gina. Say hi. It's all about plagiarism and journalism and how to be a good writer and how to not lie and bullshit your way through it. First off, people automatically dismiss this film without seeing it because of Hayden Christensen. Who is Hayden Christensen? Hayden Christensen played Darth Vader in the prequels. And I mean, not the first one, I mean Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And a lot of people dismissed him in that because he was very whiny and he was very stiff and wooden. And look, let's be realistic. It's hard to act good in those movies when the dialogue is absolute shit. Natalie Portman is a fantastic actress, Oscar winning, even going far as back as Leon the Professional. She knows how to act. Even when she's reading those words, the dialogue, it looks stiff and wooden. So it's not really necessarily that he's a bad actor. He's not the greatest actor, but it's hard to work with dialogue that is hard to say. I mean, even Ewan McGregor, who arguably is the highlight of the whole trilogy of the prequels, he's got a couple bad moments, but he sort of carries the series. So, in this film, which is based on a true story, Hayden Christensen plays Stephen Glass. Stephen Glass was a young writer for the New Republic magazine, which I'm not sure, but may be defunct now. Most magazines, most newspapers are. Let's be realistic. And I think maybe they might have a website. I think that's what they sort of went towards and sort of made it a digital age. So he's a young, ambitious journalist. And he's sort of a people person, but plays on his weak side. He sort of does the puppy dog eye kind of routine. When anyone makes fun of him or teases him in any way, he says, "I'm doing the best I can, and I'm under a lot of stress," and he really embellishes the whininess that people hated when he played Darth Vader. But in this, it works really well. Because we find out, and this is not a spoiler. This is a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler. It really is on the back of the cover of the DVD. This sets it all. He lies through all of his journals. I mean, he lies through all of his writings, all of his articles. And they're so, he embellishes and exaggerates a lot in his stories, and he says they're all true, they're all factual, and there's always like, wow, that's pretty amazing that you got that one. He's like, hey man, I'm lucky. And he is sort of the top writer at the New Republic. And then it becomes a sort of mystery, and we know that he's guilty. So it's sort of a bizarre mystery where we already know the outcome, but we don't know what the end result's going to be. And it doesn't just follow that storyline of being a mystery. It also shows how it affects everyone else around him. How, lying about an article fucks up the whole thing, makes people not trust him, makes the magazine look credibility. They had to release a statement. I mean, it was a whole big deal in real life and in the movie. So the cast, I'll talk about the cast quickly. The cast is a lot of really good bit players and underused character actors and stuff like that. Hayden Christensen really shines. I mean, he's sniveling, he's conniving, he's cunning, he's intelligent, but once he's cornered, he tries every trick in the book to convince that he, did good. And he just wants to be accepted, but he's being an asshole about it. Well, not so much an asshole, just guilty and whiny. I guess you could say the main antagonist of this, because really Hayden Christensen is the antagonist and the protagonist, but the one who goes up against him the most is his boss, Chuck, played by Peter Skarsgård, who we've all seen in a movie. He's always that guy, like, oh, he kind of is like John Malkovich. He has a very Malkovich-y voice. He played Malkovich's son in the Man with the Iron Mask. I mean, one of the most recent things I saw him in was Orphan, so I'm sure I've seen him in something else recently, but it just didn't stick out. He was in the Green Lantern. And he gets sort of promoted, and now he's the editor, and he's sort of just questioning everything, and he's the one who really questions Hayden Christensen or Stephen Glass the most. Hank Azaria is in this, and Hank Azaria plays the original editor, and at one point he defends Stephen Glass and puts his job on the line, and Hank Azaria I've always been a fan of, because I've always been a big fan of The Simpsons, and he's one of the few voice actors who can be an actual actor and is still just as good. He doesn't have to play Moe in order to be, entertaining. He was on Along Came Polly. He was in The Birdcage. I mean, he's hysterical in The Birdcage, and he really shines in this. I guess the main woman in this is Chloe Sevigny, who plays a coworker, and she's always defending him, and she sort of, like, in a weird way, Steven sort of incorporates himself, like, if he wasn't gay, you would assume he's gay, because he sort of integrates himself with the women group, and is always, like, recommending things for them. Like, it's very slightly homosexual, and is slightly feminine, but he's not. He's just, he sort of wants to be accepted by everybody, so he puts on a mask and puts on a different type of character for each person. In a weird way, it's kind of like Dexter, the show Dexter, where he fakes his way through everything. And that's, honestly, no bullshit. Hayden Christensen could play a serial killer and, like, fake his, like a Dexter type character, like, fake his way through society and have a dark side. He really could. He has the chops to do it. He has with the right director, the right film, he could do it. Who else? Can't think of any. Let me look at the DVD again. Let me see if there's anybody that sticks out. Not much else, honestly. But it's very good. and it shows a lot about the writing process, and they show a lot about how to edit, and they always have the red pens. They're always like circling stuff. And if you're a writer or if you are interested in writing, this is really a good movie to watch because it's not boring, which a lot of writing movies can be. It does have a mystery, and it is based on a true story. So we're all like invested in life, essentially. I always recommend it, and a lot of people come back to me and say this was really good. It's not a dark film, and there is language, but it's a mystery. I mean, it's not even slow. Like, you're really invested from the very beginning. And so, I don't even know who the director is, but whoever directed it did a great job. And it's... the flow of it is very good. The editing is very good. The mystery is very good. The acting is very good for whoever is playing who. Everyone shines. There's no one who's really a standout, and there's no one who's really sort of steals the show, with the exception of Hayden Christensen. And to give you an example, in the beginning of the film, this whole thing is told through his narration, but he is at an old high school class, a journalism class. So when I was watching in high school and in journalism class, we were watching the first scene be a high school journalism class. We're all kind of like, this is kind of bizarre. It's kind of like when you see a movie in a movie theater, and then in the movie they're showing a movie in a movie theater. You're just like, this is some deep cuts Inception shit right here. Not a big deal, but you're just kind of like, And he's talking to the class, and he's a good-looking guy. And a couple students, like a couple girl students, are winking at him and smiling at him and flirting with him. And he's sort of just taking it on and busting the teacher's chops and being like, oh, Miss Finkelstein's, red pen, it's notorious. And all the kids laugh and giggle. So he owns every moment as much as he can to be accepted. He is very much a sociopath. But he's not a strong sociopath. He's very much a weak, conniving, person who happens to be able to convince a lot of people and hurt a lot of people. And I mean, this is pretty faithful to the story. Stephen Glass himself and other people, the real people based on in the movie, had a lot of contribution. They had a lot of details. They had a lot of background information about what Stephen Glass was really like. Stephen Glass himself was like, yep, I fucked up, and I'm going to own up to it. And now he's sort of turning the whole thing about how he is the bad guy, and he's sort of owning it. And he's not like, I was really bad, I regret my decision. He's just like, I'm an asshole. What are you going to do about it? Similar to the protagonist, the main character in The Social Network, the Eisenberg, Zuckerberg. You're like, I'm very much an asshole, deal with it. So, I'd give this movie 4 stars. And it really should be 5-star rating, because it's really a good movie, but a lot of people don't know about it. So, once it actually gets a whole lot more praise and everything, I'll bump it to 5 stars. But I think it's a great film, and I encourage everyone to watch it. Once again, it's called Shattered Glass. I'm going to end the video because I got to go to work soon. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And take care, guys. Love you all.